Great. So guys, चलो शुरू करते हैं सुयोग. Thank you so much everyone for joining on a Saturday afternoon, and we look forward to a very interesting session. So today we are hosting Suyog Dhawan, a seasoned value investor. He himself calls a student of the market, always believing in learning the nuances. He has got over 15 plus years of experience, and he's founder of the Conviction Club, basically a thriving community of passionate and like-minded investors. He is committed to share his deep insights and practical strategies for mastering the art of value investing. He's also a founder at multi-family office wealth management outfit, which goes by the name Strategic Alpha Private Limited, and the same name is for his YouTube channel, which I would sincerely encourage all of you to subscribe. Strategic Alpha, wherein he educates and inspires investors to help them build lasting conviction, because conviction is something which majority of the investors misses in the market. And with that, I open the floor to Suyog. Suyog, very warm welcome. I would highly appreciate if I missed anything on your introduction. You may start with that, and then we'll progress with the session. Yeah.
Thank you, Prince. Actually, I'm very thankful to you to conduct this session for the audience, because we discussed this a few days back. Why at this stage this needs to go to the people. So that's why we decided this. So before going forward, let me just talk about myself and the organization. So I've been practicing value investing, deep value investing, in fact, for the past 15 years now. And uh, out of that 15 years, for the first 8 years, it was blind deep value investing. But later on, we blended fundamentals, technicals, value, and triggers put together to become to create a holistic process. So that is what is called as techno value investing. It is a version of deep value investing. So from that angle, from a holistic analysis, we'll be covering this today's topic, what is called as the last phase of bull run. So whatever my observation has been through the technical lens, through a fundamental lens, through a historical lens, we'll be discussing all that together in this today's session. So with this, I think we are good to go, Prince. Uh, we can go move ahead.
Perfect. We shall start.
Yes.
So, can you give our listeners an overview of what the last phase of bull run actually means in the context of the presentation?
Just give me 1 minute. Have you requested for the recording?
Yeah, I just requested. Although
Yes.
you are recording, not a problem. We can
Yes.
have a
Yes. Yes. Okay. So yes, Prince, what we have seen is we have seen since COVID, we have seen a ferocious bull run. So some people are saying that we have not seen such kind of a bull run. Some people are comparing it with 2003, 2008 phase. Some people are even comparing it with the phase where we saw a bull run during Harshad Mehta times. Uh, to me, is what we have seen is despite this fall in COVID, what we have seen is on a calendar year basis, we have seen a straight 9 years of a bull run. We have not seen a bad phase. Especially for the people who have started after COVID, they have not yet seen a bad phase. So what happens is the bull runs cannot continue to be eternal. There has to be a period of bad phase and all. So during the last phase of bull run, so the topic today is the last phase of bull run. So we'll discuss about that. Before we hit into a bear zone, there will be a last phase of bull run which will be played out. So usually when we are talking about this, why we are discussing is because we have seen past very 4 years of very great years. So in this today's topic, as we go through the presentation, will be sharing few charts and all, then you will be able to come to know and understand why we are in that last phase of bull run. So where I'm putting this thesis in front of you. I'm saying that this last phase of bull run will last for 3-4 months, and maybe 2-3 months also. It is very difficult to catch the very last stage, but it can be in between 2 to 4 months. And what is that which are the triggers which can break down this market? We'll be discussing about that. And usually when I'm saying the last phase of bull run, it is usually the ferocious run where there is a possibility of all those mistakes which a common investor can do. It can happen in this phase, and that is the reason why it is called as the last phase of bull run. We'll be discussing about that as we go forward. You'll get a better clarity why I'm critically saying this as a last phase of bull run. So that is all the presentation is about, Prince.
Great. So we can start with the presentation, and I request you to do a full screen so that that is more good. So
Are you able to see the
let's talk.
screen?
Yes, yes. Right now I can. So let's talk about like understanding the market emotion cycle, wherein I mean, obviously, whenever we discuss, people talk a lot about understanding the market cycle. So could you please explain more on these emotions because they influence people in their decision making, and that is very pertinent in the market side.
Yeah. So before we move forward, let me just put a disclaimer here. We Strategic Alpha Private Limited or Suyog Devan are not SEBI registered investment advisor. Whatever we are discussing in this today's presentation should be purely taken from an educational purpose. For stock market success, kindly do your own homework before taking any investment decision. So whatever we'll be sharing, use it for your own learning purpose. So that is the disclaimer we are just giving. Now, coming back to your point, Prince, we talk about market cycles. So, for an investor, it is very much important to understand how market cycles work. It is the cycle between a greed and fear, and whoever is able to benefit out of it is whoever is able to strategize this, is able to spot these 2 points. First point is the point of maximum financial opportunity where there is extreme level of fear, and the second point is the point of maximum financial risk where there is extreme greed. So if we see this cycle, the cycle moves in a pendulum way. It has its own extremes on the both the ends. We have seen during COVID, it was a maximum financial opportunity where many of the people liquidated their portfolios during the downturn. But that was the great point of starting any investment, because the earning yield itself was more than 10%. So it was better off, you would have made more money in stock market than putting in bank FD. But this is completely opposite today, because in past 4 years what we have seen is this cycle completely getting played out. So after a depression, we have seen a hope in 2021, then we have seen a relief rally, then we have seen a optimism, then optimism has turned into excitement. We have seen the SMEs, how it has become the best performing index in the entire world. Now there was a thrill, many people started investing into SMEs, many people are getting attracted towards that. And now, actually, just 2 days back, we have entered the phase of euphoria. So we are at this phase where the whole world now, going forward in the next 2-3 months, everyone will be talking about the same buy and buy. And why it will happen, we'll be talking at a later stage. But we are at a stage where there is a maximum financial risk. And the difference between this and this is that during when it was a maximum financial opportunity during the COVID, the earnings yield was 10% and more. The stocks like Nalco, BSC were having dividend yield of upwards 7%. NHPC was having upwards 8% dividend yield. No one was bothered to look at those. 2000 stocks have become more than 5x in 4 years. 1100 stocks have become more than 10x or more. 600 stocks have become 20x or more. And why I'm worried at this stage is last year we have seen maximum people paying a lot of tax on their investment. This has happened for the first time in long years. That is actually was worrying me. But when I went through the analysis, then I came to know that yes, that worry what I was seeing, yes, it makes sense to be worried at. And we have just entered euphoric zone after a 2% rise in index. just 2 days back. So that is the start of the euphoria. So we have entered into euphoric markets. So this is the point of maximum financial risk. So second best opportunity after COVID was during the Adani fiasco when it happened. It was the second best. In fact, I came up with a video on 30th March during when we discussed about kya lagta hai market. During that time, I said that small cap is the place to be. I discussed a lot of things. That was the maximum financial opportunity. The stocks like Trill went up 1000%. Titagar wagons went up 400%. So we have seen that multi-bagger cycle playing out. And we are at a stage where we are at a maximum financial risk. And one more pointer which will give us the sense of maximum financial risk is the past history. If you look at the past history, just before the 2008 fall, what we saw is 6 years of consecutive positive return. Now after that, this rally which we are seeing currently, it is not just started in COVID. It had started way back before Modi came into power. So we have seen a 9 years of consecutive positive return on a calendar year basis. Even that COVID on a calendar year, we ended positive. We have not seen a single bad year in last 9 years. So last for people, much important to understand. We cannot eternally go up and up and up. We'll be seeing a bad phase at some point of time, and I'm getting a sense through all this analysis that next year will be that year. So this is really scary, which is worrying me. I think even if we look at the quarterly charts of Nifty, this is Nifty 50 quarterly charts. So this is from 1999. So this is RSI, Relative Strength Index of quarterly chart of Nifty. One candle is equal to 1 quarter. So what we have seen is RSI, whenever it has crossed above 80, after at some point of time, maybe few months later, we have seen a big fall in markets. So before 2008 fall also, Nifty saw that RSI touching 85. And after that, we have seen a 63% fall in Nifty. We have seen even during before the yuan devaluation, Nifty reaching that levels, not as high as 80, but after that, whenever it reached high, the Nifty fall down to 27%. Just before COVID, we reached that level 80. We just kissed that level, touched that level 80, and after that, once again we have seen a fall. And once again we are at a stage, we are at 83 now. Maybe in the last phase of bull run, maybe we might see this expanding to 80, 85 or 88 also, just like what we have seen. So similar situation now is similar to 2008 from a quarterly chart perspective. If I look at from a RSI, even if I look at from Sensex. So this is Sensex chart. 1992, before Harshad Mehta bull run, we reached RSI of 88. Before 2008, we reached the quarterly RSI of 85. And once again, we have just entered that phase. So I'm saying that we will expand till here. And these timelines are saying that are we going to see a big fall or crash in January 2025? The pointers are looking towards that. This is not I'm just creating the fear or something, but this is just to be aware what is ahead of us and what can be the moves. During the last phase of bull run, what happens is there are ferocious moves. Maybe you will see that within few months the index might move up 20-30%. That might happen. That happens. And one more thing which is important at this stage is Warren Buffett. Usually I don't give much importance to what he does is with his cash, but at this point of time when other pointers are we are getting, it is important to look at those. So Warren Buffett is sitting on $377 billion of cash. So is he sensing a recession too? So that might be the case. And this is small cap, Nifty small cap divided by Nifty. So numerator is Nifty small cap and denominator is Nifty. And I think we have just entered the euphoric zone. I've plotted this euphoric zone from 2004 to 2024. Whenever we reach this level, we usually reach into this euphoric zone. So I think we are in the euphoric zone of stock markets. So that clearly tells Prince that we are in the euphoric zone.
Great. So, presently, if I were to ask you a straight question, where are we in the current cycle? So you are saying we are, almost somewhere near to the peak of this bull rally, which started after COVID, and after that, how had been it in the past, Suyog? The recovery time or the fresh rally which can start. So some pointers around that would be helpful before we move on to inverted yield curve and recession indicators. Yeah.
So as I said that in past this cycle, so we are in this cycle. So your question is regarding this, right? Where are we in the current cycle?
Right.
So is my voice breaking, Prince?
I think it's fine
Hello.
from, yeah. Is it better?
I think it is better than earlier.
I think it is coming properly to me. I don't think it's breaking.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay. Okay. So I think, as I said, that from this chart, that is what I wanted to explain. So we are in that stage where we are at a maximum financial risk. So we are in this cycle. So I think here I shared with, if I look at those charts which I showed to you, it looks like we are in this phase of the market cycle.
Okay. Got it. We can proceed with the next slides. Yeah.
So the next thing is, so when we are in that phase, we must look at this point, like these some of the pointers. So it is very much important. So usually we know that we are in the euphoric phase, but uh, what is that which can break the markets? So we must know that. So if I look at those, what can break the markets at this stage? Because what happens is euphoric markets can continue for 3 years, 5 months, sorry, 3 months, 5 months, 9 months, or 1 year also. But why I'm saying that 3 to 5 months? This answer will be given by this concept which is called as inverted yield curve. So inverted yield curve, first before that let us understand recession. So what is recession? uh, so recession, the commonly definition used by economists is, if we see 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, that tells you the recession. So some people are already saying that US is might be already in the recession. Maybe the official announcement has not yet happened. Some people are not saying that we might hit recession in some point of time. So it is very much important to understand this. But we will, according to the inverted yield curve, it tells that maybe 5 years, 5 months down the line, we will see a official announcement of recession. So I am saying that before that, let us understand inverted yield curve. So inverted yield curve occurs when the interest rate on a short-term bonds are higher than the interest rate on the long-term bond, long-term government bond. This is exactly opposite of typical yield curve, where the long-term bonds, actually long-term bonds should get a better premium and they should get a better yield because they are holding it for long period of time. But there are times where usually short-term bonds gives much better yield than the long-term bonds. That is the sign where multiple times, whenever it happens, it signifies towards a recession in the future. So, and it has 100% track record till now. And to compare that, it is usually compared that 2 year treasury bond yield divided by 10-year treasury bond yield. So if we do that ratio, we'll come to a graph, and that graph tells us about the inverted yield curve. So common comparison is between the yield on 10-year US bond and 2 year treasury note. When 2 year yield on 2 year note is higher than the 10-year bond, it is a sign of an inverted yield curve, and it is a recession indicator, as I said earlier also. So inverted yield curve is considered as a reliable predictor of recessions. Historically, many recessions in US have been preceded by an inverted yield curve, typically appearing about 10 to 12 months before the downturn. So this is that ratio 2 and 10-year yield curve. So whenever this ratio is below 0, it is called as inverted. But when it starts uninverting, so once it grows, this ratio goes up below above 0, it gives us that cup form. Whenever that cup form happens and this breaks out above 0 line, usually after that, in 4 to 5 months or 6 months, the recession have officially hit. I'll tell you about during the next slide. So even before March 2021, if you see this, the yield curve went down whenever it created that rounding bottom kind of a pattern. And this is the point when it is giving an indication that yes, we might be seeing a recession going forward. So this is the point. So the official announcement of recession happened in March 2001. But before that, there were indications when it uninverted from the downside. So this was the first indication that there might be a possibility of a recession. Even during 2008 fall, before that, the curve gave that crossover from the downside at this stage, 5 months before the official announcement of recession happened. So this is the time when it clearly told that there might be a possibility of a recession ahead. But the official announcement of recession happened in December 2007. And after that, we have seen a big fall. Now, once again, that curve has just created that crossover from the downside, and we have just reached that 0 level. So whenever we reach that 0 level, that curve goes much beyond before that. Whenever we have seen that crossover has just happened on 5th of September. 5th of September. So are we going to see 4 to 5 months later a official announcement of recession? So this slide was made on 6th of September, where there was a small fall in markets. But once again, when the inflation came down, US markets are nearing lifetime highs once again. So are we going to see an official announcement of recession on 3rd February 2025? This is what the past is saying. This is what is past is saying. And we'll look at other data also. The other data is unemployment data. So this is US unemployment rate and indicator, and it is a indicator trigger. So if you see here, whenever that, this is 3-year moving average. The red line is 3-year moving average and the blue line is unemployment data. So whenever the unemployment data is crossed above the 3-year moving average line, after that, we have seen a fall in the markets. We have seen the unemployment going to the peak unemployment at a within 400 to 500 days. This is 450 days after that crossover. And after that, once again, in 1979, whenever that crossover happened, after that, within 1000 days, we have seen a peak unemployment in US. Same happened in 1990. After that crossover happened, we have seen a peak unemployment in 700 days. During 2001 also, we have seen the peak unemployment rate reached within 700 days. So usually it is between 500 to 700 days where we see a peak unemployment. Only before during the COVID time, it peak unemployment reached in 274 days. But are we going to see? So we have this past data. Based on that, are we going to see that peak unemployment in next 500 days? That might be a possibility. So maybe in April 2026, we might see a peak unemployment happening in US. So first it is hit by recession, and then later on it hits into a peak unemployment in within a 1 year. But these pointers are also giving uh, a point where we say that the market bottom happens just after 5 to 6 months after whenever that curve happens. So are we going to see that within 6 to 8 months, the markets can create that bottom? Because we are saying that 3 to 4 months last phase of bull run will play out, and after that maybe 4 to 5 months, within that 5 months the markets will crash and it will create a bottom. It is told by the history, because Whenever the unemployment indicator indicated it, after that, within 6 months, the market bottom happened. Same happened 8 months after that curve happened. After 8 months, there was a bottom formed. So are we going to see a big phase of a bull run, then there a crash, and within 5 6 months after the official announcement of recession happens, are we going to see that bottom formation? We don't know as of now. But this is a past data which tells us about that. But before we even reach to that falling stage of market, we usually bull markets top out on a blowout top. Whenever the market participation is at the highest level, that happened during 2007-8 also. Before 2008 fall, this is Nifty chart. When the official announcement of recession happened, there was a rate cut first happened. So first rate cut happened, and after that there was a 32% rally in Nifty within 4 months, and markets kept on climbing the walls of worry for 4 months before the official announcement of recession happened. So usually market doesn't fall on the fear of recession. Today there is a fear of recession, but it falls actually, it starts falling whenever the official announcement of recession happens. So until official announcement of recession happens, there is no worry for the markets. In fact, there is a point in 18th of September, we will see a rate cut. There is a high possibility. A lot of other governments, like European countries, have already reduced the rate cut. They have reduced the interest rate. There is a high possibility of a 50 basis point rate cut in 18th of September. So after 18th of September, we will be seeing a ferocious bull run for maybe 3 4 months, and until the official announcement of recession happens, the markets will keep on climbing the walls of worry, like what it happened in 2007 and 8. And after that, there will be a series of problems which will be starting. So even during 2008, first official announcement of recession happened, then subprime crisis opened up, then later on official announcement of global financial crisis and Lehman Brothers happened. So this phase were 9 to 10 months. This phase were 9 to 10 months. Same happened before with small caps also. Just after the rate cut, small cap indexes went up 50% within 3 months. It was very ferocious bull run in the last phase. And usually many of the stocks like broking stocks became 2x, 3x in the last phase of bull run. Prince. So this is what usually happens in the last phase of bull run.
So, Suyog, you explained it pretty well, but again, you mentioned that there have been no exceptions so far. This is fair to believe that this time also this is gonna repeat. The timeline could be a little bit different from last time. And
Yes.
I mean, during times of panic, like what would be a better way to act behaviorally at these junctures? I mean, how we will, I mean, it is time to be cautious before the official announcement of recession, or I mean, once it is announced, that is the time to maybe get out of the market, or our placement should be in certain assets wherein it could be a better risk reward, as you always say, from value investing point of view. How you would suggest on that front?
So what I suggest and what actually I have done, let me just tell you about that. So in the, it is not the point to be very fearful, because unless and until the official announcement of recession happens, the bull run plays out. So it is not the time of fearful, it is the time to get ready. And what I have done for myself, I was 100% invested in small caps earlier. So what I have done is, because it is very difficult to time, we are saying that 2 to 4 months we'll see a bull run, then we will fall. It might not happen the exact way. When we have already made money in past 4 years, it is uh, good for me. If I'm a very aggressive investor, if I still want to be in equities, at least I will cut down the small caps. Like what I've done is, I was 100% invested in small caps earlier. Now I'm just invested 65%. 35% I have taken defensive bets, like I've invested some in large cap, that too in FMCG, pharma, and IT. Somewhat IT, but not. I'm not a big fan of IT, but FMCG and pharma, and I'll show that at a later stage. Why I've done that. Usually during the recession, these are the sectors which are least affected. So I have done that way. A conservative investor can even think of owning more of gold and silver, because this is the time, this is not a time to be getting 100% invested. For a conservative investor, I'll say that go 50-50, 50% in gold and silver, something like that, and 50% in equity. This is not the time to be 100% invested. And let me just tell you, when we are talking about official recession in US, we are not going to see a recession in India. We never saw a recession even during 2008 times, but we cannot be unaffected. Whatever happens in the global markets, we do get affected by that. And what I'll say is, this is the time to protect my profits, whatever I have made in 4 years, by going defensive, by owning FMCG, pharma, or gold and silver, or gold mining for that matter. That is what I would say, Prince. And
Right.
when the actual or official announcement of recession happens, I can reduce further.
Right. So, I mean, let's come to another important aspect wherein we have seen market top indicators and somewhat talked about the mistakes to avoid. But again, how can an investor in India just rely on foreign indicators? Is it something comparable in Indian parlance, which we can point towards that the market top being near? So, would be great if you touch point on these and talk about the most common mistakes which we do, especially during the euphoric times, and what we can learn from them. Yeah.
Yeah, so from an Indian context, what we have seen is till now, what we have seen is all about US. But if I look at from the Indian context also, so this is one good chart which tells us about what exactly one should do in India. So this is ICICI's equity valuation index. So it is their proprietary tool which they use. I've been following this from long time, and it works very well. So ICICI's valuation index, what they are saying is, whenever this valuation index goes in this red zone, usually after that the market fall has started. So it usually, even if you see in 2021, before the small cap, we saw a 35% cut in small cap before 2021. That was the time it said that book profit. Even during before 2008, when it entered into red zone, it said that book profits. Now this is August 2024. Today we have reached maybe here. So maybe in few months or few weeks, maybe 2 months down the line, we'll reach there. And I don't see any issues until US election. So 5th of November is the US election. Until then, I don't see any catastrophic announcement will happen from US also. So we have some time, but this is the time which we should take into picture, and we should start going towards defensive, because 4 years has been very good. Now, one more chart from an Indian perspective. So this is Nifty small cap 100 versus Nifty 100. So this is the ratio charts. So Nifty small cap 100 is the numerator, Nifty 100 is the denominator. If the ratio is moving up, it tells us that the numerator is outperforming the denominator. So 2004 to 2008 phase, we have seen that small cap became mega multi-baggers. Small cap index itself become a mega multi-bagger compared to Nifty 100. So the numerator outperformed the denominator in a big way. But before that, it made a top and it started falling. So this is the reference, past reference. If I touch these 2 points, I'll get a trend line. So if I look towards that, even during 2000, before 2018 fall, we saw that it topped here. If I took a reference of that, we are seeing that maybe in 2 to 3 months, there might be a small cap top happen. So small cap top will happen, and maybe we will see that the large caps are performing much better than the small cap. So this is one more indicator which is giving me a indication that slowly and steadily I need to get out at least partially from the small cap and move towards defensive, either FMCG or pharma. One more chart which is giving me indication is small cap. So maybe small cap upside may be left 20% from now, even now. But what happens is, what we have seen is, before the 2018, the problem with small caps is it makes a lot of money, but it also takes a lot of money from you, whatever you generate in the past cycle. Usually 60 to 70% of whatever you made in past cycle, good cycle, it takes out from you. And that is the history tells. History has told us before 2008, it took you your 76% of the money, what you already made in the last 5 years. In even during the 2018 small cap route, what we have seen is there has been a 67% fall, and it took away 80% of the gains whatever they made in past 8 years, 9 years. Same happened before 2021. It took out 34% of your money what you made in just after the COVID rally. And if I look at those pointers, are we going to see a 35% kind of a cut? There is a possibility, because the chart itself indicates towards that 35-40% kind of a, after a rally of 20%, I'm saying from 22,500. If I look at this support line, maybe from index will be falling from maybe 22,000 to 15,000. And one more indicator which gives us a good indication of a last phase of bull run is, from an Indian perspective, is broking companies. So broking companies are the clean indicators of the last phase of bull run. So if this is, I have taken a case of multiple broking companies now. So this is Arihant Capital Markets. So this got listed in 2008. So this data, just it got listed, it is irrelevant. The price to book of this Arihant Capital Markets was 5 times book. During the fall, it went down to as low as 1 time, less than 1 times book. But there was once again a bull run which happened after the global financial crisis. It was a period of 2 years. So within quick time, it turned out to be a multi-bagger. So the valuation expanded for Arihant Capital Markets. Even before 2018 fall, PE price to book expanded 3 times in just 5 months. So in the last phase of bull run, broking companies become very big multi-baggers. So that happened even before 2018. 2018 fall, we have seen price to book expanded 3 times in just 5 months. So it became multi-bagger in just 5 months. Once again, before 2021 fall, which led to the all way towards Adani fiasco, it took the 9 months were bad for small caps. Even that time, in 4 months, the price to book value expanded by 2.5x. And today it has just started, because it has just given a breakout. Price to book chart has given a breakout. So are we going to see a expansion in broking companies valuations in 3-4 months? High possibility. It is said by Arihant Capital Market. Same pattern played out with Motilal Oswal. Before 2018, in 6 months, before 2018 fall, in 6 months, the price to book expanded 3x in 6 months. So why it happens? Actually, broking companies, in the last phase of bull run, there is high amount of liquidity and trading turnover which happens, which increases the revenues. On the anticipation of that only, the stock becomes multi-bagger even before the results come. When actually the results come better, the market fall has already started. So this is giving an indication the expansion has just started now. If you see the charts, the expansion has just started for Motilal Oswal also. Same happened with MK Global. So MK Global also, in the last phase of bull run, 2007 to 2000, that 6 month period, 5 month period, price to book expanded 3.5 times in 4 months. Same happened in before 2018 fall in small cap. Price to book expanded 4x in 5 months. And RV have just started. So all the charts are pointing towards that. One more chart is Geojit Financial Services. So before 2018 fall, the price to book expanded. The stock became multi-bagger 3x in 5 months. Same happened before 2008 fall. Once again, the valuation expansion has started, and this has created a cup and handle breakout on price to book chart, which means that the valuation expansion cycle has just started. And this is giving me a clear indication. So, Prince, you said that how can we rely on foreign indicator? This is the Indian indicator with Indian companies. All that is saying that we are in the last phase of bull run, 4 to 5 months more, maybe 3 months more. It cannot be exactly time, but maybe 3 to 5 months, 3 to 4 months, or 2 to 4 months. That will be the phase of the last phase of bull run. It is indicated by majority of the broking companies. One more indicator for Indian markets is BSE IPO index. If you see, IPOs are the flavor of the bull market. You know that, Prince, right? So usually what happens is in the expansion cycle, during the bull cycle, IPO index performs much better than the markets. IPO index, the stocks which are coming up with the IPOs, that index perform much better than the markets. Before yuan devaluation, this IPO index went on going up for 600 days, 578 days. Once again, 2017-18 bull run, during that small cap run, the index went up for 600 days. Once again, after COVID, the index went up for 500 days. And once again, if I took an average of this, that pointer is telling me that we may see a market top anywhere between November. Just looking at the past, because history repeats itself. History repeats itself. It keeps on, the same pattern keeps on happening. And I'm not talking only on the one indicator. I've talked about broking companies. I've talked about BSE IPO index. I've talked about FMCG to Nifty ratio. I've talked about US. All that is pointing towards November, December, January. November, December, January. So it is multiple pointers. It is telling that we have to be cautious at this stage, Prince.
Perfect. So on this front, couple of good financial market practitioners who are managing money for people. What I heard is like they are booking profits in the broking companies. Can we take some cue from that? As you were saying, last rally might come. Obviously, we are comparing the history, and history often repeats, right? On that sense, how you take that those people booking profits or maybe churning, and as you were pointing out, moving to the defensive sides, be it pharma or FMCG, yeah. So how you see that?
No, so most of the asset managers, so usually what happens is there is a big difference with how an individual investor thinks and how an asset manager thinks. Even if you look at the recent data, even quant fund manager Sandeep Tandon is saying that they moved defensive 3 months back only. So they have been underperforming the markets. So we got this conviction on 5th of September about this entire thesis, what we have drawn, but he has been defensive from past 3 months only. Some of the fund managers, like even Siddharth Bhaiya, he has been defensive on from 6 months. So everyone has a different way to look at the markets. But what I look at is from that angle, it is saying that this is the time from this analysis that in the next 3 months we have to go defensive. An individual investor, what he does is usually he don't think much. He thinks that I'm into a long-term game. Yes, as an investor, you need to be a long-term investor, but the stocks and the sectors and the rotation, what happens, they are not long-term. Rotation keeps on happening. The market cycles keeps on happening. So I think from that perspective, whatever the professional managers might be doing in this stage, going defensive, they're doing the right thing. That is what I think, Prince.
Right. So this is in short a preparation if something the when the market bottom forms during the next time. So we are already preparing for that beforehand by going conservative. That's great. So now coming to a very important aspect which you always focus is asset allocation, right? Because that is one thing wherein we can manage the risk by ensuring that we have our allocation in such a manner, as you were saying, these days market have changed in the sense like no one thing works permanently, or obviously there are cycles to everything, as you always say. On that front, would appreciate if you talk more on asset allocation, and then we go at it.
So usually what happens is, if I look at this chart, I'll just show you this. So what happens is, what I've seen, because I've seen, I've been into markets and for past 15 years, out of that 12 years, so I've been seeing, I run a broking setup. So I've met around 700 to 800 clients till now. One thing what I've observed from all those people is people give a lot of importance to security selection, market timing, and all those other factors. But the biggest amount of money which you can make and the biggest thing which contributes to your return is not these things, because the majority of the thing which contributes to your return is asset allocation. मार्केट में कब पैसा डालना चाहिए, कब इक्विटी बढ़ाना चाहिए, कब गोल्ड बढ़ाना चाहिए, that makes you the maximum money. if you just took a decision before COVID, there were clear indications FMCG started outperforming before COVID. So it was clear indication that you have to go defensive. Even from the portfolio perspective, within the portfolio, it told that you have to build a defensive portfolio, and maybe some gold and silver also. So during that phase, if you would have took that decision, and during the bad times, you would have just invested in any blind random stocks I'm talking, you would have still made money in past 4 years. A lot of people give lot of undue importance to market timing or security selection and all, but asset allocation sahi hai to baki sab dimag ka dahi hai. That is what Shankar Sharma says, and I resonate with that, and I like that line. Asset allocation सही है, और आज की डेट में अभी तक आपने asset allocation नहीं किया है proper, और अभी भी नहीं करेंगे, तो it is very difficult, because this is the most important time now to consider asset allocation if you have not thought of it. क्योंकि सब चीजें एक साथ नहीं बढ़ेंगी. The rotation within the assets also happens, and today precious metals are giving clear indication that they are the cheapest relatively on the comparative with equity, and this is the time to do proper asset allocation.
Very relevant point you just made, Suyog, on the asset allocation, and definitely people are more concerned about the timing the market and other aspects rather than going and understanding the importance of asset allocation, as you rightly pointed out, because you cannot time it to perfection, but when you see the indicators and going what the data says is definitely something which is more relevant. So I mean, you always talk about strategies, so here also would love to learn on the strategies to navigate the last phase of bull run. So, I mean, how will the market behave once the rate cuts happens, and what role does timing play in this? If you can elaborate on that.
Yes, Prince. So on the strategies point of view, before strategies, we need to understand before implementing the strategies, this is what I do, what I will do. I might be owning a lot of stocks. So what I will ensure is I will not do any adventures in the last phase of bull run. This has to be in my mind, that this, before even building a strategy, first what I'll do is I will move away from these mistakes, common mistakes which a person does in the last phase of bull run. So no adventure. First is buying or holding a highly overvalued stock and getting stuck into a growth trap. So what we have seen is until now, I would have never said that I would have still made money by owning hyper overvalued stock. There are a lot of IPOs and all those things which are coming at 90p, 100p, 500p. अभी तक आपने किया है तो आपको मार्केट ने माफ किया है, यहां से आगे मार्केट माफ नहीं करेगा लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन में. सो दिस इज द मिस्टेक विच आई विल अवॉइड. द नेक्स्ट इज, अगर मैं इलिक्विड स्टॉक को ही ओन कर रहा हूं, दिस द बेस्ट टाइम, बिकॉज मार्केट गिव्स यू अपॉर्चुनिटी टू करेक्ट योर मिस्टेक्स. सो इन दिस लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन, जब फेरोशियस बुल रन होता है, तब कचरा स्टॉक्स, ऑल दो स्टॉक्स विल स्टार्ट फ्लाइंग. दैट इज द पॉइंट टू करेक्ट योर पास्ट मिस्टेक. अगर कोई आप होल्ड कर रहे हो इलिक्विड स्टॉक, this is the time to get out of that. This is a part of strategy which I am talking, the entire strategy. तो ये पहले मैं करूंगा, clean up करूंगा. Third is holding a non-circle of competence stock. If I don't understand a business from core and I don't have conviction, उसको पहले मैं साफ करूंगा. पहले मैं इस स्टेज में साफ सफाई करूंगा मेरे पोर्टफोलियो की. उसके बाद कैश जनरेट होगा. उस कैश जनरेट का क्या करना है वो अभी आगे डिस्कस करते हैं, उसके ऊपर व्हाट वी कैन डू. One of the thing why I'm saying that holding a hyper overvalued stock. So just see what happened with Wari Renewables. So Wari Renewables is down 60% from the recent top when the growth missed. Because the problem with high PE stock is, if one quarter there is a miss in growth, you'll see such things happening. So Wari Renewables, we have seen a lot of solar and all those companies doing that. So if you are owning, you have to be 100% sure about what will be the quarter earnings. Then and then only it makes sense to own overvalued stock. आज तक माफ किया है मार्केट ने, आगे माफ नहीं करेगा. वन मोर थिंग इज द गुड न्यूज, ये फॉल जब होगा उसके बाद एक तो हम यूएस के कंपैरिजन में कम गिरेंगे, बिकॉज वी विल आउट परफॉर्म द यूएस मार्केट्स, बिकॉज आवर इकोनॉमी इज स्ट्रांग, ऑल दोज थिंग्स, ऑल दोज पॉइंटर्स आर देयर, we have lot of SIP book size and all those things. We will fall lesser than the US markets, but we will surely fall. But उस फॉल के बाद सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज ये है, अगला बुल मार्केट जब स्टार्ट होगा इट विल बी बिगर कंपेयर टू यूएस। ज्यादा कुछ करेगा नहीं इंडिया। क्यों बिगर करेगा? क्योंकि दिस इज डॉलर इंडेक्स चार्ट। तो डॉलर इंडेक्स वर्सेस द ऑल करेंसीज, 6 times it has tried to break down. When this actual breakdown, maybe it is waiting for the rate cut trigger, उस रेट कट ट्रिगर के बाद ये ब्रेकडाउन करेगा। ये ब्रेकडाउन करने के बाद FIIs have been the seller for long time. I anticipated that जनवरी में FII वापस आएंगे। अभी तक हमने क्या देखा है, फैमिली ऑफिस ने बाइंग किया है, DIIs ने बाइंग किया है, रिटेल ने बाइंग किया है, तो फिर बुल रन रहा है। आप आगे देखिए इस फॉल के बाद चारों भी अगर ज्वाइन करे, क्योंकि यूएस सेफ नहीं है, वहां पैसा नहीं बनेगा, तो यूएस का पैसा बहुत सारा इंडिया में आएगा, तो चारों लोग भी बाय करेंगे। FIIs इफ दे स्टार्ट बाइंग, व्हाट विल हैपन, देयर इज अ हाई पॉसिबिलिटी, क्योंकि अभी तक ब्रेकडाउन हुआ ही नहीं था। ये ब्रेकडाउन के बाद इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स डू मच बेटर than the global markets. So there is a high possibility of that playing out. One more thing is, in the last phase of bull run, if the rate cut happens, commodity bull run resumes. वो ट्रेडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी होगा या लॉन्ग टर्म होगा वो बात का बात है, बट कमोडिटीज आर प्लेस्ड मच चीपर than the equities. If when I'm saying commodities, it is gold, it is silver, it is base metals or any other commodities. They are placed much better. ये कुछ पुराना डेटा है, उसके बाद बहुत बाउंस बैक आया है पिछले 4-5 दिन में। सो वी आर ऑलरेडी इन अ कमोडिटी बुल रन। तो ये फेज अगर मैं कमोडिटीज ओन करने के लिए मैं अगर प्ले करूं एसेट एलोकेशन में, उस तरीके से मैं प्ले आउट करूं, और कमोडिटी में सबसे बेस्ट कमोडिटी है प्रीशियस मेटल्स, वो मैं अगर मैं उसमें प्लेस करूं तो आई विल बी मच सेफ गार्डेड। देन द सेकेंड स्टेप व्हाट आई कैन डू इज, if I am owning, because Indian retail largely owns small caps and micro caps. We have seen that if I look at the participation of retail in the large caps, तो large caps में है ही नहीं, सबने SME भरा है, सबने small cap भरा है या penny stocks भरे हैं। क्योंकि लोगों ने देखा है सुजलॉन 4 रुपए का 40 रुपए 50 रुपए 80 रुपए होते हुए, पीपल आर गेटिंग अ सेंस दैट पेनी स्टॉक में पैसा बनता है। इट हैपेंड इन पास्ट 4 years बट इट विल नॉट रिपीट। तो अभी टाइम है, निफ्टी का वैल्यूएशन बहुत सस्ता है, एंड उसी में से अगर चेरी पिक किया जाए तो उसी में से अच्छे स्टॉक्स are much cheaper than the Nifty. I'll show you that. And what has happened in past 4 years, quality stocks बहुत underperform किए। This is Ritik, HRITIK, which means HDFC, Reliance, ITC, TCS, Infi, Kotak divided by Nifty. Numerator is Ritik divided by Nifty. ये रेशियो ने पिछले 4 साल में अंडर परफॉर्म किया है, और 61.58% का रिट्रेसमेंट टच करके फिर से वो बाउंस कर रहा है, विच मीन्स दिस इज द टाइम वेयर ऋतिक विल प्ले आउट बेटर। सो ऋतिक इज अ इंडिकेटर ऑफ क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स। ऋतिक जब मैं बोलता हूं तब मैं क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स बोलता हूं, तो क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स विल डू मच बेटर देन द निफ्टी, एंड दिस इज द सेफेस्ट प्लेस टू हाइड। दिस द सेफेस्ट प्लेस टू हाइड। अगर मैं स्मॉल कैप से बाहर निकल रहा हूं तो, और मैं एग्रेसिव हूं, मुझे इक्विटी रहना ही है, लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन प्ले आउट करना ही है, तो आई हैव डन 65 small cap and 35 defensives, gold silver quality stocks and all. So I'll look forward to that. अगर मैं मॉडरेट होता तो मैं स्मॉल कैप काट ही देता, 30-40% रख देता, और मैं 60% क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स ओन करता, जैसे ऋतिक है। वन मोर कॉन्स्टिट्यूंट ऑफ क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स इज लाइक डीमार्ट, हाई क्वालिटी, 4 साल में 0 रिटर्न बना है। ITC हाई क्वालिटी, बुलरन में हुआ बिकॉज इट वाज अंडर वैल्यूड, वो बुल ये हुआ, बट दिस इज लुकिंग गुड टू मी। एशियन पेंट्स, HDFC बैंक, TCS, बजाज फिंसर, बायोकॉन फॉर दैट मैटर, ये क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स में इट विल प्रोटेक्ट द डाउनसाइड, एंड लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुलरन भी प्ले आउट करने मिलेगा, एंड स्मॉल कैप अगर बड़ा करेक्ट करता है वी विल बी लीस्ट अफेक्टेड। एंड जैसे ऑफिशियल अनाउंसमेंट ऑफ रिसेशन होता है आई विल मूव माय मनी टुवर्ड्स मोर टुवर्ड्स प्रीशियस मेटल्स। जब तक ऑफिशियल अनाउंसमेंट ऑफ रिसेशन नहीं होता है मार्केट्स विल कीप ऑन क्लाइंबिंग द वॉल्स ऑफ वरीज। इन द ऑन द ऑफिशियल अनाउंसमेंट ऑफ रिसेशन we will I will put more money into precious metals. I own some of it, but I will majorly put more money into precious metals क्योंकि उसके बाद 6-8 महीने के बाद मे बी बॉटम फॉर्मेशन होता है। बॉटम फॉर्मेशन और फॉल के बाद 6-8 महीने का टाइम लगता है। दिस इज द प्रीशियस मेटल्स डिवाइडेड बाय निफ्टी रेशियो चार्ट। 2008 के फॉल के पहले वो रेशियो नैरो हुआ, उसके बाद ब्रेकआउट हुआ। इसका मतलब क्या है, यहाँ मार्केट फॉल किया है बट प्रीशियस मेटल्स ऊपर गए या घटे नहीं है। सेम हैपेंड बिफोर 2018। सेम आर वी गोइंग टू सी दैट प्लेइंग आउट वंस अगेन? आर वी गोइंग टू सी दैट once again? So this is the clear indication. Are you seeing this pattern repeating, Prince? Similar patterns दिख रहे हैं आपको?
Yes. So
तो
on this, like one quick question. Sorry to stop you in between. So this time from last 1 year or so, we have seen all the asset classes have been doing good parallelly, be it the real estate, and you talk about gold, silver, and the equities. So normally this is not seen because as we talk of cycles, normally we see that one outperforms the others. So would you give some nuances to that? Is it something different on that front, or it has also happened in the past if you have studied that aspect?
it has happened in past wherever there is lot of money printing. So क्या होता है पूरे साइकिल में देखा जाए तो दिस इज द शॉर्ट, यूजुअली इट हैज हैपेंड फॉर वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, बट दिस टाइम इट हैज हैपेंड फॉर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। उसकी वजह से हमें लगता है कि भाई सभी एसेट क्लास बढ़ रहे हैं। एंड द रीजन फॉर दैट इज endless amount of money printing what has happened, high amount of liquidity there, what is there in the system. Because of that gold बढ़ गया, silver बढ़ गया, commodities बढ़ गए, market बढ़ गया, but it cannot keep on happening for endless point of time. उसमें से एक winner निकल के आएगा। And usually when we know when recession hit what happens with the equity markets. So it is clearly saying that precious metals is the safe point to hide. Hope it clears, Prince.
All right. We can move ahead.
ये और एक जो है, अगर मैं 1960 से प्रीशियस मेटल का मैं अगर चार्ट निकालूं, दिस इज गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वर कंबाइंड चार्ट, सो विच इज प्रीशियस मेटल्स। तो ये प्रीशियस मेटल बुलरन हुआ इस टाइम में 1980 तक। उसके बाद कुछ नहीं किया, उसके बाद फिर से बुलरन हुआ। जो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस समझते हैं दे विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज अ कप एंड हैंड, दिस इज अ फ्लैग एंड पोल ब्रेकआउट, आल्सो कप एंड हैंडल ब्रेकआउट। तो फ्लैग एंड पोल, ये फ्लैग दिख रहा है, सॉरी ये पोल दिख रहा है और ये फ्लैग दिख रहा है। तो पोल एंड फ्लैग, तो यूजुअली जब पोल एंड फ्लैग का ब्रेकआउट होता है इट इज अ साइन ऑफ अ ट्रेंड कंटिन्यूएशन। तो ये जब इसको मैं ऐड करूं टोटल लेंथ, it if I add that total length here, it is giving me a sign that until 2029, this is the time target. I should not use the word target, you should do your own homework, but I'm just saying it from the patterns, how patterns play out. तो पैटर्न ये कह रहा है कि 2029 तक प्रीशियस मेटल बुल रन रह सकता है। Why? The time target is total consolidation what has happened, so from 2009 to 2021, उसको अगर टोटल में अगर ऐड करूं 2010 से, तो टोटल डिवाइडेड बाय 3, मतलब 3 साल, 2000 कितना होता है ये, दिस इज 2010, 2010 टू 2023, 14 ईयर्स, 14 डिवाइडेड बाय 3 तकरीबन 4-4.5 साल होता है। तो इसमें अगर मैं ऐड करूं तो इट इज सेइंग मी अ साइन दैट अप्रैल 2029 तक प्रीशियस मेटल बुल रन रहेगा। that is what it is saying, that that precious metal ऐसे नहीं है कि लोग बोलते हैं precious metal में कम पैसा बनता है, बट उसका साइकिल जब प्ले आउट होता है ना वो इक्विटी से भी ज्यादा प्ले आउट करता है। वन मोर थिंग, अभी मैं अगर if I've got the full conviction that yes I'll be getting the opportunity at some point of time, एसेट एलोकेशन में आज सही करके मैं डाउनसाइड प्रोटेक्ट किया, तो अगला बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी कब आ सकता है? सो दिस विल बी टोल्ड बाय निफ्टी एफएमसीजी टू निफ्टी रेशियो चार्ट. So this is Nifty divided by sorry Nifty FMCG divided by Nifty. ये रेशियो चार्ट जब भी टॉप आउट होता है, मतलब ये एक रिवर्सल जब भी लेता है टॉप करके, दैट इज द बेस्ट पॉइंट टू इन्वेस्ट इनटू इक्विटीज. सो दिस इज फेब 1999 में ये टॉप आउट हुआ था, फेब 2009 में टॉप आउट हुआ था, जुलाई 20, दिस इज 2013 नॉट 2023, जुलाई 2013 में टॉप आउट हुआ था, मई 2020 में टॉप आउट हुआ था, एंड अभी ये जस्ट स्टार्ट हुआ है रेशियो चार्ट ऊपर जाने के लिए, विच मीन्स दैट are we going to see that period coming anywhere between Feb to April 2025? तो एटलीस्ट पैसा डालना कब चाहिए? अगर मैं यहां से मैं डिफेंसिव जा रहा हूं तो वापस कब आना चाहिए? तो मे बी फेब अप्रैल और मे बी मई, क्योंकि अभी तो इंडिकेशन दे रहा है, तब और क्लैरिटी हमें समझेगा फिर से जब एनालाइज करेंगे. आप अगर देखेंगे, आप फॉल के पहले आपने डिफेंसिव किया और फॉल जब ये टॉप आउट किया तब पैसा डाला होता, तो फेब 1919 में अगर मैंने मार्केट में निफ्टी में इंडेक्स में पैसा डाला, आई एम नॉट इवन टॉकिंग अबाउट बेस्ट स्टॉक सिलेक्शन, इंडेक्स में पैसा डाला होता, तो 1999 से 2001 दो साल के पीरियड में निफ्टी में 84% रिटर्न बना है. जुलाई 2003 में मैंने अगर डाला होता तो निफ्टी में 2 साल में 79% बना है. फेब 2009 में डाला होता तो निफ्टी में 110% रिटर्न बना है 2 साल में. मई 2020 में डाला होता तो 160 रिटर्न बना है 4 साल में. So what it is telling, if I just go defensive and just wait patiently for that event to play out, because this event is imminent. निफ्टी आरएसआई चार्ट देख लीजिए, ग्लोबल मार्केट चार्ट देख लीजिए, सबके हिसाब से इट इज टेलिंग दैट इट हैज टू प्ले आउट. अगर मैं इतना कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हूं तो एटलीस्ट मैं थोड़ा सा डिफेंसिव जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि यूजुअली क्या होता है, हर बेयर मार्केट में लोगों के पास पैसा डालने के लिए पैसा ही नहीं होता है. तो आप पहले प्लानिंग नहीं करोगे तो आप पैसा कैसे रख पाओगे? दैट इज व्हाट आई थिंक प्रिंस. क्योंकि हर बार वही रोना होता है ना कि भाई बेयर मार्केट है, मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी दिख रही है, पैसा नहीं है. So how to be prepared? So this is the good opportunity to be prepared, Prince. That is what I think.
Great, and it's always good to be prepared beforehand so that we can be. I mean, obviously, when the big money is made, when our thought process and the consensus in the market coincides, and that is the time we all make great money. And I always uh, focus on this thing, which is the greatest takeaway from your session, is that we should also focus on preserving the capital which we have made in last year. So that is again the focus areas. And you already touched upon the global events in making the upcoming FOMC meeting and the elections. So apart from the pointers which you discussed, is there anything more on the strategy thing which you are, I mean, adhering to in light of navigating through this last phase of bull run? I mean,
Yes, one timeline is I meant to explain this. So important timelines. Usually I don't give much importance to the global developments because we are in a phase where India is doing at such a great thing. I just ignore the global thing. But आज इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते हैं. यहाँ से आगे हर एक ग्लोबल डेवलपमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा. वो क्या इंपॉर्टेंट टाइमलाइंस रहेंगे? 18 सितंबर देयर इज अ एफओएमसी मीट. तो वो इवेंट कैसे प्ले आउट हो सकता है वो देखना है, क्योंकि उसके और उसको ऑलरेडी डिस्काउंट करना शुरू कर दिया. मार्केट इज नाउ एट ट्रेडिंग एट ऑल टाइम हाई. प्रिंस, इफ यू रिमेंबर, 3 4 दिन पहले ही मैंने बोला था कि लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन शुरू हो गया है. एंड ऑन द सेकेंड डे इटसेल्फ निफ्टी वेंट अप 2%. तो दैट इज द क्लियर इंडिकेशन. तो यहां से आगे 18 सितंबर का एफओएमसी मीट इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो देखना है कितना रेट कट कैसे आता है. कितना से ज्यादा रेट कट होना इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जितना खींचेंगे उतना ट्रबल क्रिएट होगा. जितना इसको खींचेंगे, अभी खींच नहीं सकते. इट हैज बीन 23 स्ट्रेट मंथ्स यूएस हैज केप्ट द रेट स्टडी. वो खींच नहीं सकते, अभी तो करना ही है 18th को. 18th को नहीं हुआ तो 7th ऑफ नवंबर को नेक्स्ट एफओएमसी मीट है. अगर ये एक्सटेंड होते जाता है तो मैं लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन प्ले आउट करने की सोचूंगा भी नहीं. आई स्ट्रिक्ट, क्योंकि ट्रबल है, फिर प्रॉब्लम है. क्योंकि वो इतना एक्सटेंड नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो दैट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट टाइमलाइन। सो बाय 9th 7th अगर मुझे रेट कट नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि 5th ऑफ नवंबर यूएस इलेक्शन आउटकम आएगा, एंड ड्यूरिंग द इलेक्शंस वी हैव सीन दैट मार्केट्स कैन स्विंग 8 10 15% अप डाउन, सो दैट कैन हैपन। 18th ऑफ डिसम्बर वंस अगेन देयर इज अ एफओएमसी मीट। तो मुझे क्या चाहिए, यूएस इलेक्शन आउटकम से पहले 3 तारीख तक आई शुड बी वेरी रेडी। 18th को अगर रेट कट नहीं होता है तो आई मूव मोर टुवर्ड्स डिफेंसिव। 18th को अगर रेट कट आता है तो आई कैन स्टिल बी फाइन, आई कैन स्टिल वेट फॉर सम मोर डेज। So that is the thing. 6th of January is the official announcement of president. And one more thing which I missed to talk about this in this entire presentation, there is a highest risk of heightened global tensions after 1970 Cold War. हम तो सिर्फ यूएस इलेक्शन और रिसेशन बोल रहे हैं, बट कुछ चीजें ऐसी आउट ऑफ सिलेबस आ सकती है। रिसेंटली राजनाथ सिंह हैज ऑलरेडी टोल्ड द डिफेंस minister, I think army, that be prepared for unexpected. What this means? So what it means is we have seen heightened. So there is some people are already believing that we are in the World War III already. So आज तक powers, usually people think that people get elected from because for this, and people presidents and all those people, politicians work for the people. No, they work for power, and power is a bad thing. And I'm seeing a big global power shift happening. I've talked it in the commodity bull run session also. It is, the video is available on our YouTube channel, which I've talked about precious metals and all those commodities and global power shift which is happening. There is a high possibility of this war situation will get intensified further. Can that bring a commodity bull run once again and precious metal bulls runs once again, and that will make market to fall? We don't know, but these are the pointers which I am having. So this is all the things which can get played out in the future. Prince, this is what my all
Yes.
thoughts are, and I have put that all through this entire presentation.
Nini, that's great, and I really admire the point which you made. There could be possibly two risks: one are known risk and one are unknown risks. So at least for the known risk, we should be prepared, and obviously we cannot foresee the exact what is going to happen. But the pointers you just mentioned on the global front and the global tension, so definitely that also should be there in the back of our mind, and in light of those, we should, I mean, place ourselves. So, I mean, you talked about the scenario, the market could fall 8 to 10%. So that was with reference to the US markets, or that can also be replicated here in India. So that is question number one. And on the top of that, do we have any sense? I mean, if there is President A or President B, the scenarios will change in global markets. Any sentiment on that front, Suyog?
So yes, so if it is the Kamala Harris, it will be looked as negative for the markets. If it is, but that all makes irrelevant, because the most important thing which to look at is the official announcement of recession. More than that, elections will have a play on this, but that will take a back step. That is what I think. But if I still want to answer that, if Trump wins, it will be a positive, and if Kamala Harris wins, it will be taken in a negative way.
Right. And on the other questions, the market fall, which could be 8 to 10%. So you refer to US market, right?
So the fall which I said in the short term, that has already completed. No, so I think when I shared during last time, from that to today, we have seen 5 days of market, and the fall which I thought that short term fall can happen, that has already played out, and we have seen when the official numbers of inflation came, markets rallied, and Russell 2000, which is the index in US, which has started outperforming the broader index. So we have that fall is not an issue today. Even for the Indian markets, that has not an issue today. Just last expiry, we have seen 2% rise, and we have entered the euphoric phase now. We are in that phase. Now the fall next will happen will be the brutal fall, not small falls now. Maybe 1-2%. I don't call them as falls, but the next one will be the trend decider for this bull market.
Right. So, Suyog, now we will be first of all taking the questions which are there in the Q&A, and then we can see if we can take some questions from the chat also. But again, those who have written in the chats, the relevant questions can surely be written in the Q&A box so that we can filter and answer those questions. So to
Yes.
start with DP Suyog, we know. So DP, this is Prince. So I run a small channel, Accidental Investor Prince, and also present on Twitter. I do spaces on with financial market practitioners, and in the past I did one with Suyog also. So that made me reach him out and see if we can have something interesting to talk. And I think today's session is no less than something which is most relevant in this point in time. So now coming to Nitin Rohidas. Okay, so the topic is concerning while everyone is singing the song of India's best time has come and we are going to be $5 trillion. So is that a lie? I agree that stocks are expensive, but that just means a correction is due. But to say bull market is coming to an end seems a far-fetched. Hoping this is clear to nth level on why India's growth will not fuel the bull market further. So would you like to take that, Suyog?
Let me just take that question. So Prince, I've never said that in the presentation itself. When I started this presentation, I said that it has nothing to do with India. The risks are from global, and I cannot be negative on Indian equities at all. It is just that I'm just managing my asset allocation. I don't know a single investor who says, hey, yes, like a person, someone like me, uh, who was until today 100% of my portfolio of net worth was invested in equities. And there is no doubt about the India growth story. But valuations भी कुछ चीज है. और and I'm not saying bear market will start. I'm saying US bear market में जाएगा. Maybe we will touch that zone because bear market कब start होता है? 20% के बाद bear market start होता है. मे बी 20% तक का फॉल होके हम रिबाउंड करें. May as of now I don't know whether we will enter into a bear market or whether it और 20% इंडेक्स करेक्ट किया. स्मॉल कैप 35% आराम से करेक्ट कर सकता है. निफ्टी 20% तक करेक्ट करना इज अ पार्ट ऑफ अ बुल रन. 20% के आगे बेर रन बोलते हैं. सही है ना प्रिंस भाई? So all that story of long term Indian story is always be intact, but valuation भी कुछ चीज है. जब तक पुराने हैंड्स, वीक हैंड्स बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे, नया बुलरन कैसे शुरू होगा? एंड दो ये इंडिया ग्रोथ स्टोरी 2008 में भी था, इंडिया ग्रोथ स्टोरी कोविड में भी था, 2016 के युआन डिवैल्यूएशन के टाइम पे भी था और आज भी है. I'm not denying the fact that India will become, and in the past we have seen economy and stock markets are 100% correlated in the long term, but in short run 6-8 months is a short period for a very long bull market. So that is my view. I think anything you need to add, Prince, on this?
Yeah, totally agree to your thoughts. And secondly, we are not saying that we will always be at the right place, but it is always good to be in the right directions and in sync with what the data is saying and what has happened in the past. So totally agree to that. And even if we talk about last 4 years of market, and if we are into companies which are the large caps, they haven't given any return. So that phase also was the growth phase. But again, the investors who had invested big time in those companies haven't made the return which were made in the small caps and the other companies. So definitely you right pointed out correctly, and definitely how we see it matters a lot. So
होप
next question is
नितिन होप यू हैव गॉट योर आंसर. सो अगर मैं इंडिया पे बुलिश नहीं होता ना तो मैं 100% इंडिया से मतलब पैसा मार्केट से निकाल के गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर लेता. इतना वरी के बाद भी मैं 70% रख रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट मैनेजिंग द रिस्क so that I have a ample amount of cash to play the India growth story at a lower valuation entry. That would be my reply to this.
Great.
Yes.
So Sunny is asking how much cash do you hold as of now, and what are experience of crash? These two questions.
So I'm not holding much of cash, maybe 5% cash, because I own gold and silver, precious metals, gold mining. So it acts like cash to me, and large caps all put together. This will, so large cap also I take it as cash only because I'm a small cap investor. My love towards small caps is a lot, but I'm forced to buy large cap. So I treat that as a cash only because वो कितना गिरते हुए मार्केट में वो कम गिरेगा, and that too within the equity large cap I'm owning a lot of FMCG stocks. So 10 में if I invested in 10 large cap stock, 6 are FMCG stocks. So I treat that as cash. And gold and silver I own through Edelweiss mutual fund. I'm owning Edelweiss gold and silver ETF FOF, which holds 50% in gold and 50% in silver. That is what. So it has helped me even before 2018 small cap route. I had turned some money towards mid cap and large cap. That helped me during the that period. I was not completely protected, but yes, that helped me to when I wanted to raise cash to buy something, I liquidated large caps. So that is my thoughts on this.
Another question is on your experience of crash in the past. So any thoughts, quick questions in that?
So I started my stock investment career in 2007. 2008 fall I have seen, but I will not take that as I have really seen that fall because money amount invested was very small and I just saw that. So I have not seen that 2008 pain. Number one. Number two, I saw after 2012 there was a fall. So I saw that. So it was brutal for small caps. I've seen 2018 fall. In fact, index went down 60% during the 2018. But because I shifted, just like what we are doing an analysis today, before 2018 small cap fall, I shifted toward defensive large caps. So it didn't impact me, but I've seen that 2018 fall. I've seen some of the stocks going down 90% during the 2018 to 2019 phase during the small caps. So that is my experience. I went through the COVID. So COVID fall, I have seen it, lived it, asset allocation rotate kiya, or and I took a bet on metals. So earlier I was owning less metals, and even if I'm owning metals, I was owning a lot of cash rich companies before COVID. When COVID came, I sold the cash rich companies at a loss. So I held Maithan alloys before COVID happened. So that didn't fall much because it was a cash rich company, and I also owned Sale. So Sale was 5% of my portfolio. Maithan was 25% of my portfolio. When the COVID hit, the Maithan just fell 20%, but Sale fell down 60%. So I reversed my position then. I sold Maithan at a loss and bought Sale more. So these are, so when I'm saying asset allocation, in all this, I'm still bullish on India, but within this risk management, risk and reward, I keep on shifting between the assets. So this has been my experience with the various kinds of fall and how I worked during those falls. And upcoming fall, this is how I'm preparing for that.
So Suyog, next question is again from Nitin is asking, with the past behind us, and even if the prediction plays out the way you said, what could be the impact on Indian market considering the FII's share in the Indian market is decreasing, and the FIIs are not able to put a heavy dent on Indian index. So from that point of view, what could be the potential impact?
So the selling will not happen from FIIs because FIIs are already sold a lot. So selling will happen from the institutions itself. The selling will happen from the retail itself. People, if it has to happen. As of now, I don't know how much fall it will happen. As of now, I don't know how much bad it can happen. So I won't be saying that fall hoga or bear market hoga. I'm not saying that. I just know today that risk management करना है. तो मुझे नहीं लगता है एफआई की वजह से सेलिंग होगा, और मुझे ये लगता है कि ग्लोबल मार्केट से हम कम गिरेंगे. आई बीन ऑलवेज सेइंग दैट ग्लोबल मार्केट से हम कम गिरेंगे. मे बी ऐसा भी हो आज की डेट में, यह सब मैंने लिखा है, सब ये किया है, मे बी वी माइट सी ओनली 15% फॉल, बट 15-20% इज अ नॉर्मल फॉल. तो उतना तो होता दिखता है मुझे. दिस इज व्हाट आई सी प्लेइंग आउट. 10-15% इज वेरी नॉर्मल. अगर 2008 जैसा भी प्ले आउट नहीं होता है, क्योंकि समझिए 2008 इतना बुरा क्यों हुआ था. इट इज नॉट जस्ट द रिसेशन. रिसेशन के बाद हुआ था सब प्राइम क्राइसिस. सब प्राइम क्राइसिस के बाद हुआ था ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस, लीमन ब्रदर्स कोलैप्स. इस बार शायद वो अगर नहीं होगा तो मे बी हम कम गिरेंगे. बट आज मुझे इतना ही मालूम है कि मुझे कॉशियस रहना है. अगर वो फॉल छोटे से, क्योंकि बड़ा फॉल छोटे फॉल से ही शुरुआत होती है, तो छोटे फॉल से व्हेन आई एम एट लाइफ टाइम आए, छोटे फॉल के पहले ही मैं अगर मैं डिफेंसिव में जाऊं, क्योंकि 4 साल में पैसा बना है, एंड अगले 6 महीने में अगर पैसा भी नहीं बनेगा ना, आई एम स्टिल ओके, बिकॉज पिछले 4 साल में पैसा बना है. सो आई डोंट हैव टू गेट बेनिफिटेड आउट ऑफ ईच बुल रन. लेट अस से आई एम रॉन्ग टुडे, I'm still okay not making money. At least I have made an attempt to protect my portfolio. So this is what my thought process is.
So he's asking Amit, what is the official announcement of recession? Who announces and how do we get to know?
All the TV channels, all the newspapers, you will see that official announcement of recession. It has happened.
One question is on how to buy precious metals online.
So there is, if you go to the, so I prefer Edelweiss. So Edelweiss म्यूचुअल फंड के वेबसाइट पे आप जाएंगे तो वहाँ गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर ETF FOF का ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्टिंग का ऑप्शन है, दैट आई कैन डू. सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज by owning ETF. There is Nippon India Silver ETF. There is Nippon Gold Bees. So Gold Bees और Silver ETF ये दोनों भी अवेलेबल है. तो आप आपके ब्रोकर को पूछिए, ही विल टेल यू बेटर. तो ब्रोकिंग सेटअप में वो दो स्क्रिप्ट्स आर अवेलेबल. थ्रू दैट आई कैन इन्वेस्ट थ्रू ETFs.
All right. And another question is on after crash in the past, how had been it? I mean, on the time front, how much time does it take to form a base before the next rally start, or there is no fixed time as such?
6 to 7 months, 6 to 8 months.
Right.
It takes at least 6 months for the base formation after the crash. I'm not saying crash. Once again, please don't misunderstand that. I'm not saying कि crash होगा ही होगा. I am saying कि अभी risk manage करूंगा. अगर crash होगा तो मैं benefit होऊंगा. Crash होगा या fall होगा. See, there is a difference between a big crash, fall, and a correction. Correction 20% तक correction बोलते हैं. 20% के बाद bear market में entry होती है. अगर अगले 3 महीने में 30% बढ़ा है तो उसको 20% करेक्ट करोगा तो मैं उसको क्रैश कैसे बोलूंगा, क्योंकि इट हैज जस्ट रिवर्स्ड इट. तो ये 20% तक इट इज नॉर्मल. वो उसके बाद होता है क्या, ग्लोबल डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से, इंडियन डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से पता चलेगा, या शायद कुछ वॉर सिचुएशन इंटेंसिफाई तब अपडेट होगा. आज मैं नहीं बता सकता हूं. आज मुझे इतना ही मालूम है, आई हैव टू बिल्ड अ डिफेंसिव पोर्टफोलियो.
So another question is from Karthik. He's asking, how do you read banking and financials as a sector and on the valuation front also?
See, my plan is banking and financials are looking very cheaper. But my plan is I want to participate in it if I get a fall next. क्योंकि I believe 2 to 3 sectors which will be the leaders of next bull market. क्योंकि क्या होता है, कोई भी bull market नया fresh शुरू होता है, the new leaders take the markets higher. So the new leaders probable, I am saying probable, actually जब इंडिकेशन मिलेगा, फॉल के बाद एक इंडिकेशन मिलेगा हमें कि कौन सा सेक्टर ऊपर आ रहा है, तो उसके हिसाब से पता चलेगा. बट द प्रोबेबल सेक्टर्स आर फर्स्ट बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंशियल्स, 6 months back I was not confident much on chemical, but chemical अभी जाना ऊपर आना शुरू हो गया है. बट ये अगर फॉल आएगा तो वो भी अफेक्ट करेगा, बट वो पूरी तरीके से साइकिल प्ले आउट नहीं हुआ है. तो वन ऑफ द पॉसिबिलिटीज ड्यूरिंग द नेक्स्ट फॉल आई विल लुक एट केमिकल्स. सो केमिकल्स हो गया, बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंशियल हो गया, तीसरा सेक्टर है लॉजिस्टिक्स. सो लॉजिस्टिक्स, दीज आर द थ्री सेक्टर्स विच आई विल बी, I think probably the next during the next phase of bull run, whenever it starts fresh, these are having high chances because valuations बहुत mouth watering है. Yes.
Yes, so another question is from Vijay Kumar. He's asking, okay, precious metals means gold and silver or any mutual fund route for other metals or any commodity funds you advise?
नहीं, प्रीशियस मेटल्स मतलब गोल्ड और सिल्वर ही बोल रहा हूँ. बाकी के तो फिजिकल में लेना पड़ेगा. अगर मुझे कॉपर प्ले करना है तो कॉपर में, कॉपर एल्यूमिनियम वो सब स्टॉक करना पड़ेगा. बट आई अदर कमोडिटीज का नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ. आई एम स्पेशली टॉकिंग अबाउट गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर विच कैन बी प्लेड इन अ ETF वे.
So
प्रीशियस,
Harish,
यस
what, what?
यस यस, प्रिंस यू कैन टेक नेक्स्ट.
So Harish is asking, Suyog, Prince, can you please share this presentation? I guess I'll be uploading this presentation on my YouTube channel, Accidental Investor Prince, and as well as Suyog will be uploading it on Strategic Alpha YouTube channel. So these presentation, I think, can be accessible. But apart from that, if you want it in person, you have to check with the Suyog. Maybe you drop an email. I will see if that
Yeah,
can be
so I'm
shared.
just uh, sharing my handles. So you can check these handles on Twitter. You can check on blog. There is a possibility I'll upload this entire thing on the blog in few days. strategicalpha.in/blog. So here, there you'll be readily this entire content will be available. I'll be putting this on our YouTube channel also. So all this content will be available there.
मनोज शर्मा इज आस्किंग, जिसका पूरा पोर्टफोलियो एसएमई स्टॉक में हो उसको क्या करना चाहिए?
पैसा 4 साल में बना है तो मैं तो डिफेंसिव जाना कोशिश करूंगा. और मेरा प्लान भी यही है, क्योंकि आई मिस्ड आउट ऑफ SME इन दिस past 4 years. Largely I missed out. Started playing out in past 1 year through pre-IPO deals. But बहुत मेरा सबसे बड़ा रिग्रेट है इस बुल मार्केट का कि मैं SME प्ले आउट नहीं कर पाया. बिकॉज प्रिंस यू नो, बहुत आपको एक पुराने एक्सपीरियंस्ड इन्वेस्टर जिसने मतलब हु हैज बर्न्ट हिज हैंड्स इन मल्टीपल माइक्रो कैप्स, ही stays over cautious, and that played out with me, and I missed out on SME. But during the next phase, I'll be actively participating more in the SME. Not at this point of time, because we are at a maximum financial risk. अगर मैं पहले से 4 साल में पैसा बनाया मेरा SME में, I'll take a cautious approach as of now, because पैसा बचाना भी important है.
So true. At least to say we should be staying in something which we understand better than
Yeah.
the other classes. Yeah.
And we
So
cannot paint everything with the same brush. There might be some SMEs, वो स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक है अगेन डिसीजन, क्योंकि कुछ SMEs ऐसे होंगे जो आप बेच नहीं सकते हो. इफ आई जस्ट रिस्क समझ के मैं अगर बेचना शुरू कर दूंगा, इट विल बी अ बिग फुलिश डिसीजन. आई नीड टू चेक, डिफरेंशिएट द व्हीट फ्रॉम द chaff, एंड देन अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर कोई SME स्टॉक है, मैं बेचना ही नहीं चाहिए. अभी जैसे मैं एक SME स्टॉक ओन कर रहा हूँ, आई डोंट केयर इवन इफ इट गोज डाउन 50% फ्रॉम हियर, बिकॉज I'm very well connected. I've done management meet. I've visited the plant. I don't care at all, even if it goes down 60%. So such stocks I will not sell, even in this phase. Yes, Prince, you can take the next question.
yeah, next question is basically is asking how you will figure out कि recession से ये companies इंडिया में इफेक्ट हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है?
नहीं, रिसेशन यूएस में होगा, इंडिया में कभी रिसेशन नहीं आएगा, आई डोंट थिंक सो, बिकॉज इंडिया इज एट सच अ कंट्री, अगर हम कुछ भी नहीं करेंगे तो हम 4% से ग्रो करेंगे, उसको बोलते हैं हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट, न्यू हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट बोलते हैं। तो 4% से नीचे हम जा नहीं सकते, देर विल बी नो रिसेशन इन इंडिया। तो अगर एसएमई में है तो वो अगर एक्सपोर्ट यूएस में ज्यादा कर रहा है तो इट विल गेट अफेक्टेड। इंडिया में अगर उसका कामकाज है तो इट शुड नॉट गेट अफेक्टेड मच, बट अगर वैल्यूएशन महंगे है तो इट शुड रियली अफेक्ट द स्टॉक।
Yeah, Vinod is asking, how does one prepare themselves now if you have missed the last bull run and have 1 to 2 CR to invest?
So that is so there is no need of putting the numbers here, but yes, if I missed the last bull run, अभी से मैं अगर मैं लिक्विड फंड्स में पैसा डाल के ओवर द नेक्स्ट 13-14 मंथ्स के लिए मैं ग्रेजुअली शिफ्टिंग करता रहूं, थोड़ा 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 करके, आई विल गेट अ बेटर एवरेज प्राइस, क्योंकि अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा महंगा मिलेगा, फॉल जब होगा तब आप एक्सेलरेट डबल कर दीजिए उसको पोजीशन, जब इवेंट प्ले आउट होगा, क्योंकि मुझे पूरी तरीके से मिस भी नहीं करना है। सो लास्ट फेज ऑफ बुल रन में शायद अगर मेरे पास समझो 100 रुपीज है, तो 100 रुपीज में से 25 रुपीज आई विल पुट नाउ, 75 रुपीज लिक्विड में रखूंगा, और मैं उसको सिस्टमेटिकली थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पार्टिसिपेट करूंगा इक्विटी में। एज द फॉल प्लेज आउट, I'll get a better average price. That is what the strategy I think of when I am at that stage.
Right. So particularly any gold individual companies, we won't be comfortable naming. So 1, 2 questions around that. So let me see, Suyog, if there are any questions in the chat also. But from next time, I request our audience if they can ask their questions in the Q&A. That is more helpful for us. And so,
Please,
yeah, no,
please
yeah,
post your questions in the Q&A box, because in chat box we might miss the question.
yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
Yamunan is asking whether COVID fall was showing similar signals or only 2008 was the last time it was showing similar signals. If so, how to identify, be prepared for COVID like 30-40% crash?
I think the whole session we discussed that only, right, Prince?
Yes, exactly. You can, if I mean,
Once again,
obviously,
you can go through this session whenever it will be uploaded on YouTube. Maybe you might
um,
have started this, means attend,
so
joined this
couple,
session in
yeah,
between.
couple of people have asked in the comments and even in the questions. Yes, this session will be open for all on both the YouTube channels. Mine would be Accidental Investor Prince. You can search for that and subscribe to that. And for the Suyog's, that is Strategic Alpha, and definitely he has shown where all you can connect over social media, and even he can help with the presentations, and there would be questions going forward also. He'll be happy to address that.
Yes,
Uh,
once again, let me just repeat the disclaimer. Whatever shared in this today's webinar, please do not take this as a in any kind of a recommendation. Please do your own homework before taking in any investment decision. We are not SEBI registered investment advisor. Whatever we did an effort is to just communicate with you the facts, figures, and the past incidents, knowledge, and wisdom. Whatever that is, what I've shared with you all.
Exactly. By no means it is any kind of advice or any hard views. We have presented our thoughts with the data, and that should be taken as a starting point. And you are at your will to take your decision. But again, this is what the market is placed at. So, Suyog, before we close for the day, very pertinent question. So, where can the listeners go to learn more about your work and access additional resources if anybody is willing?
So I'll show you that. So I've been writing the blog. Hope everyone is able to see the screen.
Yes, it's visible. So I
Ah.
hope everybody is able to see
So
that.
on
Yeah.
our website, there is strategicalpha.in/blog. So I've been writing the blogs from 2017. Uh, so all those blogs related to markets, related to the strategies, related to the knowledge, wisdom, and ideas, each and everything I've discussed it there. Like the topics like Lalapalooza, what is margin of safety, what is uh, what is like there are a lot of never miss a bear market in life. So you just go through that, you'll understand why bear market are the greatest opportunities for you to create fortune. Wealth तो म्यूचुअल फंड से आप वहां से बना सकते हो. अगर फॉर्च्यून क्रिएट करना है, you have to be a bear market investor. 5 important things to as to traits to have as an investor. Few things to learn from Peter Lynch. No stock is safe. Very much important if you really want to take this as a business, because stock markets reward you as per your perception. If you take this as a business, it will reward you as a business. So if you go through this all content, it will be really helpful for you to take the stock market as a business and take it with conviction, because stock market is the only business in this entire world which can be done till the last day of your life. So if you learn these skills at an early stage, even Prince, whatever the work Prince is doing, it is he invites a lot of talented, young, talented, very experienced also investors. He shares a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and ideas on his channel. Also, you should go through his channel, go through our YouTube channel, go through our blog. Also the Twitter posts, be it what Prince shares or what I share. This will help you connect the dots. This will help you to build the conviction and confidence to take the stock market as a serious market participant.
Thanks, Suyog. And Suyog, if you can show on the link to our handle, so over internet, so it would be better for our audience to figure it out. Maybe you can show your channel and X handle, and also you can show mine through yours
Yeah,
also, so that they know where they have to navigate. Yeah.
yeah. So this is my channel on Twitter. You can just click x.com/suyog_dhawan. And if I look at Prince, so this is Prince Twitter handle. So at the rate AI_Feb21. AI_Feb21. This is Prince's Twitter handle. I'll also show the YouTube channel. I think his YouTube
Yeah,
channel
link is, yes,
uh,
this is.
is in this only. So it is
So
Accidental
perhaps,
Invested Prince.
Suyog, you can find out your video which we did on Faces and share with the audience here. They can relate to that session. That was again very pertinent, and they can also do some back testing in the sense what we discussed. And similarly, the market has been generous and played out more or less the similar way. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So what I'll do, Prince, is I'll share all the links through post webinar email.
yeah, that
Everyone
would
will
be great.
get through that, and they will also get that on WhatsApp also, on their WhatsApp.
Perfect, perfect. So, Suyog, let me take an opportunity to thank you for doing this session. Really helpful and very well timed. Definitely will try to upload today or maybe latest by tomorrow, so that people can enjoy that on weekend. And I think Monday is also holiday for not, if not for everybody, but for a majority of the people. They can utilize these 2 days to learn from this video and share with their near and dears. And definitely, if they want to connect to Suyog and me, definitely they can reach out. Thank you so much for taking this time out and always helping the retailers in all the situations with your experience. Thank you so much, Suyog.
Thank you, Prince, for attending this session, for all the participants for attending this session, and Prince hosting this session. So, Mr. Durga, maybe the mail might have gone in your spam box. you'll get that in on your mail just after this session. I'll make sure that you get all the links on the mailbox. So thank you everyone. Thank you Prince for this session.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.